Hello and welcome to the We're from the Valley podcast. On today's episode, we have a very special guest who I'm really excited to announce, my very dear friend, Alexa Rivera. Alexa, Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to come out. I'm so glad that you did.
Of course.
So for those of you who might not know Alexa and how much of a badass she is, Alexa... Shoot, let's get your bio, your overview. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and then we can talk a little bit about how you and I met.
Okay, well, my name is Alexa Rivera, and I'm from Brownsville, Texas, but I've been living here in McAllen for a good while, probably since like 6th grade now. But yeah, I mean, recently got married, bought a house, and now
Nice.
I am pregnant.
Yes. I love it.
So
congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
I love it. That's such great news. Married to Matt Rivera,
Yes.
our good friend,
Yes.
who also have known for a while, and who's sitting behind me right now. And
Yeah.
so, hey, Matt.
Biggest supporter.
Yeah, I love it. So you and I was thinking about this the other day, when I invited you to come onto the podcast, but I was thinking about how fun and exciting it was going to be to reminisce and talk about, back in the day when we used to hang out and how we met. Do you remember when we first met or no? Because I don't think I remember that day.
It was either at a show or at Memorial, because I was going there for photography class, and that I think I already knew Arnie, but
Okay.
I think that's where I met you, maybe?
I think it was
don't
through
know.
him. Yeah, it had to be through Arnie. I think we already knew each other when we found out that you had a class at Memorial.
Yeah.
But it had to have been at one of the shows, maybe. But yeah, maybe through Arnie.
Yeah. One of those.
Yeah. But actually, I don't remember the exact day, but what I do remember, and I have such fond memories of, is do you remember when we used to hang out at Starbucks before school?
With OJ and Dexter at Wingstop. Oh, and Starbucks too, yeah.
Here's the thing. What need did we have to hang out at Starbucks before school?
Oh, yeah.
Like, we could have hung out in the afternoon at Starbucks. Yeah. We were hanging out before school, like getting up extra early.
Yeah. Back then, Shelby would pick me up to go to school because I didn't have a car yet.
Shout out to Shelby,
know.
AKA Shuby.
Yeah.
Those are such good times. So, okay. And I'm like, why did we... I can barely get up in the morning now, right? I mean, obviously, like my body, like my circadian rhythm is in sync. My body's so used to it. But I could barely get up like in college for class.
Yeah.
And we were getting up and hanging out at like 7?
Yeah.
And then we'd hang out, have our coffee, and then head to school. We each had our separate ways to school. And I think it's so funny how we did that. But those were some good times. I have some really fond memories of that. And then also, seeing you guys like in the photography room and coming to visit. Dora.
Yes.
Dora. Hey, Dora. And just getting to hang out at the shows too. I mean, those were some really good times. We were kind of into the same music at the time, which is awesome. And so those are some of the fondest memories that I have of us. And so we haven't seen each other in a while, right? Yeah. I think the last time that I saw you or got to hang out with you or talk to you at least was when I came by the store. Maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah. You brought me some cookies.
Yeah. I wanted to congratulate you and just kind of wish you the best with the store, which we'll definitely talk about here in just a little bit. But that was a couple years back.
Yeah.
But yeah, good times. So that does lead me into the next topic that I do want to transition to is, so people need to know about the Style Union, and those who don't know, because a lot of people here locally, I'm sure already are so aware of it. They shop there, which is awesome. But basically, tell us a little bit about your store, the Style Union, how it started, and what was the inspiration behind it?
Well, having my own boutique was always a goal of mine. I used to always do outfit of the days, and I would love fashion. So it was always one of my goals to have my own boutique. And you remember, you even brought it up, how I do YouTube videos.
I do. Yeah, I remember. And it's so fun because it showed that you were passionate about it, right?
Yeah.
That that's something that you like to do, and to see how the story evolved from that, to me, is amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, so when I graduated college, I graduated with my management degree from was UTPA, now UTRGV. But yeah, I had just graduated, and I was currently working at Dillard's, and I was trying to apply for jobs, you know, with my degree, and you know, I just wasn't getting any hits. Like, I would get interviews, but wouldn't get the job, and you know, it was very frustrating. And at the time, Patty and I were hanging out a lot, and we were like becoming really good friends. We had the same style.
Yeah.
And she had also just graduated with her marketing degree.
Shout out to Patty.
Yeah. And so we were both struggling with the same thing, like not being able to find a job with our degrees. And it was very frustrating because we went like a few months without trying to find anything. And luckily, Dillard's promoted me to like a manager. So that was like, at least I had that like under my belt. But one day, Patty and I were actually having lunch at Republic of the Rio Grande, and we will always remember this. And we were having some pizza, and you know, we were just talking, and we were like, it would be so awesome if we were buyers for a store. And I was like, shoot, I was like, it'd be cool if we had our own store. I was like, why don't we just open up our own store? I was like, start our own boutique. I was like, we have the same taste, like, you know, like, why don't we do it? And we were already taking pictures of each other, like, of our outfits, like, frequently. So she's like, yeah, let's do it. And so from there, we started brainstorming names. And we're like, okay, well, first step is trying to find a name, like, so we can get all the social media. And so that's how it started. And, you know, that's how we came up with the Style Union. And the reason why we named it the Style Union is because it's like a union of styles. Like, Patty and I have very similar tastes, but it's also very different from each other. Like, I think I'm more girly and she is more edgy, I guess. But we also have like the same taste that kind of ties in together. So that's how it started. And from there, you know, we started the social media and got all our licenses and everything, permits that we needed to start it. And we started online in 2016. We launched May 2016.
Okay.
So,
I love it. So it started out as an online shop, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And so how long after did you say you started the physical? You had the physical location?
Yeah, so we didn't open the physical location till September 2017.
Okay. So for about a year, you operated online.
Yeah, a year and a half.
Okay.
And before then, you know, we were online only, and then we would offer pickup or local pickup. So we would meet customers in parking lots, Starbucks, like giving them their orders. And, you know, we realized we had a lot of, obviously, like customers from here that wanted to try on and stuff like that. And people would ask us, can I like try on? I was like, it's kind of weird because it's in our house. Like, all the inventory's in my parents' dining room. And like she had some stuff in her parents' house too. So it was just like no. So we're like, okay, like we need to make it a goal to have our own location. And at the time there was this boutique called Francisca's Showroom. And they were located in the convention center. And the owners are so sweet. And they reached out to us and they're like, hey, like, we love what you guys are doing. Like, would you guys be interested in doing a pop-up or being a pop-up in our store? So like, we rent you a space and you sell your clothes in our store. And we're like, hell yeah. Like,
that's awesome.
That this is our opportunity to like get the taste of selling in store. And, so we said yes, and we started selling our stuff in Francisca's showroom. And it was amazing because Brisa and Nayari, they're the owners of Francisca's showroom. And they kind of like took us under their wing and like showed us like what they do and stuff. So a lot of things we do right now are because of what they showed us, you know? So it was amazing. And we're very like blessed to like have them as like mentors when we did. And we actually ran into them last year in Vegas at one of the trade shows we went to. It was so cool just to see them again. But yeah, so we had our pop-up there. It was like from October till like January, February, I want to say. And then they moved to Mexico after that. They moved their store. So we're like, shit, like, what do we do now? We're like, what store can we move into? So we moved into Fashion House for a little bit. And then after that, we're like, no, like we need our own like place. And so we started looking for locations here in McAllen because we wanted something in McAllen. We were thinking about downtown, but we're like, no, like our brand, what we want it to represent is not downtown, you know? I don't know. I feel like sometimes stores downtown, they get like a bad rep, or like the quality. You don't think quality, I guess, when you think downtown. So we just wanted something more uptown in McAllen, and that was our goal. And we found some spaces, and then we're like, okay, like next step is if we do find a place, like we need money. Because obviously we were doing this all with our own money, and well, we didn't have enough money to like order all this inventory to fill up the location or do construction if we needed to. And so we're like, we need to get a loan. So that's when we went to like the banks and tried to get loans, but we just kept getting denied. And we're like, one of the banks recommended us like, well, why don't you guys take out a line of credit? So that's how we started. And, you know, we found this location where we're at now. We're like, we love the location of it. So we got a line of credit and we started building out the fitting rooms and the office. And so yeah, that's how we started.
I love it. It's incredible because I'm sure that it must have been scary at first. No, you're like, we don't have money. How are we going to do this? What I do love to hear is that you said that the the owners of Francisca's showroom kind of took you under their wing, and it's so invaluable to have somebody to kind of guide you through the process, right? Because I mean, for you, this is all new territory. I mean, obviously you know about fashion, but about starting a business in and of itself, like that's a lot of work.
It is, yeah. I mean, when we first started, like there was a lot to learn, and I mean, a lot of it, like there's only so much I feel school can teach you, and like you can take from school, but like a lot of things, it's like you kind of learn as you go. So yeah, it was very scary, and all while doing this, we were still working our full-time jobs. So it wasn't until we opened the actual location where we're at now is when we quit our jobs. Okay. So when we did that, I made sure I had enough money to, like, you know, just in case, to last me, you know, a couple months. So that's what we did. And, you know, at first it was hard when we opened.
What were some of the struggles that you came across?
Well, one, we were a brand new boutique. A lot of people didn't know about us. So there was days where, you know, we would be in the store, Patty and I, and we would not get a single customer in, like, you know, or we wouldn't sell anything. And it was very, like, it just, like, didn't motivate us sometimes, like, or, I don't know, like, I don't know how to,
maybe you felt discouraged.
Yeah, there you go. Discouraged is the word I'm trying to think of. It was very discouraging, but we're like, no, like, you know, we just kept going, and we're like, no, the thing is, also, I think what helped us is that we were always very consistent in social media. We posted all the time on social media, and we take our own content. We made sure to always go outside to take pictures and show the clothes. And so that was also one of our main things that we did, is take our own pictures and you know, video for social media. And I think that's how we grew also our social media so fast, is that being
consistent with it, which I love, because at the end of the day, if you want to really kind of establish your brand, that's the number one thing.
Yeah.
Consistency and volume, of course.
Right.
And, now you guys have more models to be able to
Yeah.
kind of promote the clothes and stuff like that, right? Which is awesome. But to
Yeah.
think it's just started with you guys,
Yeah.
that's so cool. And I really admire that, because for sure I imagine the discouragements come.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like, where is this going? Is this
Yeah.
even going anywhere?
Exactly.
And I know for some businesses, a lot of businesses, they don't see profit like the first 1 or 2 years
Yeah.
when they open, right?
Yeah.
You're barely trying to even break even. And so I can imagine that's tough too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it was very hard, but I feel like after the first year, like it started going uphill from there. And I mean, it was always going uphill, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we just kept going, and we were always, when we opened the store too, we also wanted to bring a boutique that was different from any other boutique here in the Valley. Like the way we decorated the store, to the clothes we brought. Like we felt like it was just a different style from any other boutique that was here. So that was also one of our main goals, is to bring something different and new. And we get customers coming into our boutique sometimes saying like, wow, like I like the decor of your store and the style, like it's very like Austin or Los Angeles. And that's a very big compliment to us, because it's like that was our goal.
Because it's your hard work and your effort. You know?
Exactly.
I would say it definitely does feel very, very fresh when you go in there, and the design. I mean, it's a pleasing aesthetic, right? It's pleasing to look at, which is really cool. What would you say, like if somebody asks you like, hey, what kind of designs or what's the inspiration behind the looks that you want to be able to portray in the store with like what you sell and stuff like that?
For the clothes?
Yeah, for the clothes.
I want to say like minimal, neutral, edgy.
Okay.
Is a type of like style we go for. Obviously, we try to bring color, because Patty and I usually only wear neutrals.
Yeah.
And very like timeless pieces.
Okay.
Like now that I'm older, I feel like back then I would buy super trendy things from Forever 21, and it would only last. I would only wear it for like 1 or 2 times, because it would go out of trend. And it was like those trends that just like go in and out of style real quick. And now that I'm older, I like to wear pieces like, can I wear this multiple times? Like, so that's try to like what we try to buy for the store. Like you can wear this like multiple times, but also bring trendy things that, we know people will like. So
that's so cool. I do like it. I like it a lot. I mean, obviously I'm a guy, and so there's, I mean, I actually, you do sell guy clothes, no? Like you sell certain items that guys can wear, like the sweatshirts, the pullovers. 956. Yes, those are cool. But I remember when I came in, I came in because I wanted to see, I mean, like all of the hard work that you guys have put into it. And I remember buying some of the accessories that you guys sell, which is something else I want to talk about, because not only are you a local business that helps to stimulate the local economy, which is awesome, but you also support other local businesses through yours, right?
Yeah.
You were telling me that some of the accessories that you guys sell are handmade, or they're made here locally by people here in the Valley, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you still doing that or no?
So we don't do that anymore, but we still, we used to have like pop-ups in our store.
Okay.
And it would be like local businesses selling their items in our shop.
Yeah.
So we did that for a good while, and now we're actually doing Shop Local Saturdays.
Okay.
So every one Saturday out of the month, we host these events, and we invite like two local vendors to our store, for them to sell their stuff in our store. And it's nice because I know right now there's a lot of markets going on, and a lot of them are outdoors, and it's super hot outside.
Yeah.
And
no kidding.
So it's nice to offer at least like an indoor space to, these businesses, for them to sell their stuff and give them an opportunity to like reach more customers, or, whatever. So we like to do that, just because also like when we started, like it was nice that we got to sell in another store, So we do that once a month.
I love it.
Flip over sideways.
It's kind of like, the way I see it, it's kind of like what Francisca's showroom did for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are doing as well, and you're kind of
Yeah.
passing that on, which is super cool.
Yeah.
I'm very I guess I appreciate that local businesses helping local businesses, because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, we want them to thrive.
Right.
We really do. Benefits the local community, the local economy, which is so cool. And so I think it's awesome that you guys do that, and to think about how it started as an online shop, and now
Yeah.
you're able to kind of help other people kind of in that same route where you guys started is
Yeah.
really, really cool. What would you say so far has been your most favorite thing about the journey and your least favorite thing about the journey? Let's start with your least favorite. What has been like your least favorite part about the journey and starting the business?
The journey in itself, I think my least favorite is it's like a roller coaster. Like, you never know, obviously, how each month is going to be. Like, there's even now, like, there's days where, it goes super good, and then we have a day where it's bad, and it's that not knowing.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep going. And with COVID, when COVID first started, like, we were scared.
Shoot, of course.
We
That
were
must have
so
been tough.
scared, because we're like, shit, like, we have to close our store, and we have to keep paying rent. Like, we had to keep paying rent on our location. And we're like, what do we do? Like, I would talk to Matt of freaking out, and I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like, we started offering curbside pickup.
Okay.
And also, our vendors in Los Angeles were shut down.
Okay.
So, like, it was hard for us to get merchandise
Yeah.
too. So that's when we also started doing, like, tie-dye stuff, and, like, we would do it ourselves. And that, like, started doing really well.
That's
like,
awesome.
It was like the loungewear stuff.
Yeah.
And we would start getting t-shirts, like, things that people could just wear at home. Obviously, they were working from home. And honestly, like, thankfully, it boosted our sales, like,
Really?
way more. Like,
Wow.
we were doing so good in that time. Like, it was very, like, surprising to us.
Yeah.
And we were, like, just over the moon with how well, what we were bringing that people liked, So, but yeah, it's just, like I said, a roller coaster. Like, there's times where it goes good, and there's times where it goes bad, but you just got to keep pushing. Can't give up.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about it,
For sure. And what people need to realize is there's a tremendous amount of risk in starting your business. And like you said, COVID, nobody could have predicted that, before it happened. But, it's like you also don't have control over it. And so what I love to hear is that you guys adapted.
Yeah.
And you started to kind of
had
innovate and figure out, okay, how are we going to, keep the store afloat?
Yeah.
And so I think that's amazing. It can certainly be scary, but yeah, I guess it's the risk that comes with owning a business. And so I'm really excited to hear that.
Yeah.
So moving on to, okay, it's a roller coaster, but moving on to your favorite part of this journey so far. Well, and I know it's a loaded question, but is there something that comes to mind?
I mean, doing what I love is, a favorite thing. Like, it's like, I don't ever go to the store and be like, I don't want to go to work,
Yeah.
Like, I love what I do. My mind is always thinking about the store. Like, it never switches off. Like, I'm sure Matt gets annoyed at me because I'm always, like, reading our emails or answering messages to customers. You're never off the clock, really. Your mind is working all the time, thinking of new ideas. And also just hearing when customers come into our store, just hearing them say, like, oh, I love y'all's store. Like, just saying that they love our style. Like, people that moved from the valley, like upstate or whatever, they come back and they're like, oh, like, I wish you guys had a boutique in, New Jersey or wherever they moved. And they ask us, like, do you know any boutiques similar to y'all's? Like, because we love it. Like, and it just feels so good. Also, like, customers from out of state that always message us saying, like, I love y'all's boutique. And it just feels really good.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's got to be such a good feeling because the time, the energy, and the effort that has gone through it. And I can imagine for them to be able to say and to give you this positive feedback must be so rewarding.
Yeah.
It must feel so good to be able to say like people appreciate all of the effort that we put into this.
Yeah.
Because behind the scenes, I'm sure there's been days when you were like, you know, what are we gonna do? You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's so cool. Do you guys have a vision to branch out eventually and to hopefully one day open more stores, or do you prefer to keep it small and local?
We've thought about it. Like, we've thought about maybe opening. We've thought about getting an office space, like where we can like shoot, because we shoot our own content.
Yeah.
And right now we just shoot it inside our store. That's why we're closed on Sundays, so that's our day to like shoot our content.
Okay.
For the website in the store, and that's where we shoot it. So I mean, that's also a goal, is opening an office space where we can do all that stuff. Growing our team is also a goal. And yeah, like, I mean, the thing is, we would want to open up a second location, but also I feel like our customers know our location.
Sure.
So I don't know, but that's also another goal, or maybe expanding to a bigger location.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like moving.
Because at the end of the day, opening up a new location would mean that there's a whole other like aspect that goes into that, and the workload begins to grow. And so I mean, it is good to kind of take things step by step too. And so even if you guys are like, okay, we do have a desire to grow, but in terms of like maybe expanding the store, I mean, I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Also growing our online presence.
Okay.
Like, I mean, that's what we try to do every day, right? Just grow our social media, but reaching more people out of state is our goal also. So that's just our goals for right now.
I love it. Usually when you do big things, there's always going to be people maybe critiquing or saying like, hey, you could do this better, or I could do this better.
Oh, yeah.
How do you deal with that? Have you had to face that during the journey?
Yes and no. Like, I mean, sometimes there's like competition, I guess, but we don't really see anyone like to us. Like, all boutiques here in the valley have their own style, you know, and I guess for people to tell us like, oh, you can do this better, like, well, like, this is what works for us, and you know, we want to continue doing what we are doing, you know, and we're always also trying to improve. Like, every day we're trying to improve what we're doing. So yeah, I mean,
that's good.
Just not letting it get to you also.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's interesting is everyone always has an opinion, right? Everyone always has something to say, and they, you know, I can do it better, or you should do this. But what they also need to realize is it's your project.
Yeah.
Like, it's your baby.
Yeah.
Right. And so what you say goes, right?
Yeah.
And nobody has to understand it or be okay with it. Because at the end of the day, it's what you're doing.
Exactly.
And so that's the beauty of it. I think it's like what you and Patty say goes, and what you guys want to make happen, you get to make happen. And so people don't know the effort that goes into that. And people also don't realize, like, hey, if you have advice, great, but nobody really likes unsolicited advice.
No.
And that happens all the time.
All the time.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, if I have advice, I'll ask you. I'll come to you and I'll say, hey, you know, what do you think about this? But another thing that people don't realize is, like, nobody really likes unsolicited advice, you know. Exactly. But yeah, I think it's funny because it happens a lot, and sometimes it can be like maybe off-putting. Yeah, right?
Definitely.
But it's like, you know what? Like, this is my project, and I'm gonna do this the way that I want to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so cool. We were talking about how, you know, you're married now and you're expecting, which, again, congratulations, by the way. I wanted to ask you, how do you manage and run a business being married? Has that been an issue? Has that been hard? Does it take away time, or has it been harder to kind of like manage your time, things like that?
It really hasn't like gotten in the way or anything of us being married. I guess sometimes it's hard for me to like want to take time off, because I was always the type, even before when I worked at Dillard's, like, I never really asked for days off, like, unless I was super sick, you know. And so now that with our store, you know, it's like, oh, I want to like go out of town this long. It's like, you know, I feel bad asking you know, Patty, even though she's, you know, it's normal for us to want to go out of town and like have some time, you know. And he's like, yeah, but you're able to do that. And it's like, yeah, but this is like my baby. So it's kind of hard sometimes to let go. But other than that, it really hasn't gotten in the way of us being married or anything.
So you have a pretty good work-life balance, you would say. And
yeah.
I mean, even though you seem very devoted, it's also not one of those things where it consumes your life.
No, I think I've gotten better.
Cool.
Right, Matt? I've gotten better. I mean, obviously the store is like on my phone a lot. Obviously, like with the website and like the POS system, like I get all the notifications. I'm in charge of like answering DMs on the social media on Instagram. So I'm always like like I said, I'm always like attending to the store. And so I would be on my phone a lot, like answering messages, and Matt would be like, can you like not?
Babe, we're trying to watch a movie.
But Matt's super sweet though. He'll never really tell me. Like I can just like look at him and know he's in like a little bothered that I'm on my phone a lot.
But he's patient about it.
He's very patient. Yeah. He won't tell me, but I can.
We appreciate you, Matt.
Yeah. But I am trying to be better to have like more, I guess like a boundary, like with being at home and spending time with Matt. Like I'm trying not to be like on my phone. Okay. So I guess that would be like one of the things that kind of gets in the way.
I recently saw you guys had a photo shoot, a pregnancy photo shoot, right? That was so cool. I love the pictures. What was the idea or the inspiration behind that? I mean, you were like, I have an idea in mind, or
Matt surprised me with the maternity shoot, and he's like, we're doing it before your birthday.
Go Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always surprising me. So when he told me, I was like, okay, like what do we want to do? And I was like, I don't want to do anything outdoors. So I'm like, I'm not really. Plus, it's really hot outside. Yes. So I started looking into like just doing something at home. Plus, like being home is what we love. Like we love being home. And also, I just like to be comfy, like in jeans, and I don't like to wear those extravagant. Like, I mean, they look beautiful, right? Like on some women, but it's just not me. And I wanted something else to represent our style. So I think it being at home and like the way we're dressed was like just representing us. I love it. Yeah.
Because you felt comfortable. You didn't really have to go all out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I wore jeans and like just a little like bralette and his white button up. And then for the other outfit, I thrifted like a slip from the thrift for $2. And I was like, this is good.
That's awesome. Yeah, they looked great. I loved them. So you and Matt are homebodies.
Very homebodies.
I'm a homebody too. It's like I like to go out every once in a while with friends and stuff like that, but I feel like I'm at peace when I'm at home. I was talking to you about how earlier it was raining, and I'm like, when I'm at home and it's raining, that's amazing. I love that.
Oh, I love that too.
But what do you guys do for like hobbies and stuff like that? Like in your free time, if you have any, in your free time, what are you guys doing like to recharge and stuff like that?
Well, my hobbies right now are, I've been very into home decor and furniture flipping. Okay. So finding like just pieces of furniture that are like vintage and cool and flipping them. It's just like a fun game almost to me, like looking on Marketplace and seeing what I can find. Also just trying to find pieces for our house, you know, because obviously we moved from an apartment to a house, and it's a lot of space we need to decorate.
And you guys have been doing a lot of work on it too, which is awesome.
Yeah, we did a lot of work. I think
Matt carried the jacuzzi out with just his bare hands, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think we kind of like burned ourselves out from working too hard.
I can imagine that's so tiring too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You guys were pressure washing the fence and everything.
I mean, it's obviously very fun because it's our house and we want our house to look and beautiful.
You're investing in something that's yours, which is awesome.
Yeah, so we're very proud of the way it's come out. And on the weekends, you know, obviously we like to just enjoy our house and just be home. And Matt loves to cook. So that's also one of our things that we love to do is cook together. Yeah. Try new recipes. Matt's always sending me recipes on Instagram. He's like, I want to try this. I'm like, I'm down.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We were talking about how I asked you about Maddie's Pizza business and how you guys currently have it on hold, right? But the idea is to eventually bring it back?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously it would be an amazing thing to have a food truck or even like an actual business one day. But so we started Maddie's in May of last year.
Okay.
And actually before Maddie's, we were doing barbecue plates.
Wow. Okay.
Because Matt was super into barbecue and cooking brisket. I mean, he still is.
What was he making? Brisket or like pulled pork or?
Yeah. So we did a Cubano sandwich for one plate.
Nice.
And that was actually inspired by the movie The Chef. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, I know about it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we were inspired by that movie and for the food truck business and all that stuff. And so that's how we kind of got started with that. And we did pulled pork, or did we just do Cubano?
It was the pork belly.
Yeah, the pork belly.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Pork belly.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So we did pork belly, and I mean, he was cooking all kinds of things: pork ribs, brisket. He even did barbacoa one time. So he was just like doing a bunch of stuff. And then,
man, I'm almost sad Matt hasn't invited me recently over to try some of the the pork belly. Like, dude, what the?
Yeah, I know, it was really good.
I love pork belly.
Yeah.
So then after you guys transitioned into pizza, and it was like you guys took orders on, what is it, Sundays or something like that?
Yeah. So we started taking orders starting Sunday.
Okay.
And then we closed them like Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
Because Thursday we would make the dough.
Okay.
Also, it's a learning process,
Sure.
like making pizza, Neapolitan style pizza. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously pizza is my favorite food. So I was like, let's do pizza. I was like, obviously there's pizza places here, like Pizza Hut and Little Caesars and all those chain restaurants. But I'm like, I feel like there's not really like too many local pizza places here other than like Mamma Mia's or Mama's or, and I was like, and they don't really do like cool style, like cool topping pizzas.
Right.
Or specialty pizzas.
Pizzas, yeah.
So I was like, why don't we do that? And so that's how that started. And we called it Maddie's Wood Fire Pies. And so that's how we started doing it. I mean, it was Matt and I, like, I do the dough, I top it, and then Matt will put it in the oven and he cooks it.
That's gotta be so much fun.
Yeah,
like
no,
actually
it is.
putting like all of the toppings on the pizza and then seeing the finished product. That's gotta be so cool.
Yeah. I mean, it took us a good few months to really get it down.
Okay.
Like the process and all that. Rolling out the dough is a hard thing to learn. Learning how many toppings to put on because it gets heavy and doesn't really want to slide it out into the oven. The ovens we had also in the beginning were like so annoying because they were wood pellet ovens. So Matt had to like keep refilling it because the fire would go out, and then that's when we transitioned to propane. So we don't have to worry about anything. But yeah, so that's how we started. And then, Matt always has these good ideas on what we should do next. And one of our customer favorites was a chorizo potato pizza that we would do. Wow. It was super good. Yeah.
Chorizo and potato on a pizza. That's awesome.
I know.
Okay.
It was really good. Also, we collabed with El Sancho Barbecue.
Really?
Yeah. So that one was called Vaya con Dios, and it had brisket, jalapeno, cilantro. It was really good. And that was also a hit.
I love it. So the hope is to eventually bring it back?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So, I mean, once we found out we were pregnant, we were like, damn, like, because it is a lot.
Yeah.
Matt has a full-time job, and I
two
work at 2. And so we would make the dough on Thursday, and then we would do the pizzas on Friday. But it's like a whole day thing. Like, we would make the boxes, and then we would do time slots from like 3 to 6 p.m. And so, it's a nonstop thing, like making pizzas and giving it to the customer.
Yeah.
And after that, cleaning,
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hate even cleaning just the dishes when I cook dinner.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys are making full-on pizzas. So,
yeah. And grocery shopping
And
for the
grocery
ingredients.
shopping,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was a lot. But it's very rewarding, very fun to do.
Sure.
And it was just great.
And to have people support you, I feel like that's super cool too, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, who doesn't love food?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love pizza?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a pizza lover too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited. Hopefully, you know, you guys will be able to start that up again soon, and just to be able to see more of those specialty pizzas and, you know, creations that, you know, you guys come up with. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you and say thank you again for being here. You know, I'm really excited that you're here. It's been a while since we actually got to like just chill and catch up, and so I'm really glad that we did. And I'm gonna hold Mike accountable for inviting me to Mike. Why did I say Mike? Matt accountable. Why am I thinking of Mike? I'm gonna hold Matt accountable to invite me to try the frickin' pork belly.
Yeah, he hasn't made pork belly in a while actually, so.
I'll bring the kimchi. But yeah, no, thank you so much for hanging out. I mean, I feel like I said, I have really fond memories of our times back in high school, and so just to be able to chill with you guys again and to talk about the amazing things that you're doing, and that's one of the things that I told you about. It's the objective of this podcast is really to just have conversation about the amazing things that people are doing in the Valley. Yeah. I've heard, you know, people say before, like, you know, nothing really good comes out of the Valley, or you have to leave the Valley to kind of experience some great things. And yes, you can find some great things outside of the Valley, but I'm like, if you don't know about the amazing things that are happening in the Valley, it's probably because you're not hanging out with the right people, and you're not hanging out in the right places. Yeah. You know? And so I just want to shed light on that. And so, yeah, I'm really happy that you accepted the invitation to come out. And so I'm really proud of you. I really am.
Thank you.
And so really proud of you and Matt as well, just to be able to see the amazing things that you guys are doing together. And like I said, you know, I love just watching what you guys do, like the photo shoot. I mean, the pregnancy photo shoot was so cool.
Thank you.
Just things like that. And so I'm really grateful for you guys.
Thank you.
And so before we close, I do want to ask you one question, and this one might get you thinking a little bit. So take your time if you do need to think. But the question is, at this point in time, if you could travel anywhere in the world and money is no issue, where would you want to go, and why would you want to go there?
I think either Italy or Iceland.
Okay. Italy or Iceland?
Yeah,
why
Iceland
both?
cool.
Why Italy?
Italy for the food.
Of course. And the views.
Yeah, and the views. Yeah.
Views.
Yeah, Iceland. Dora went there for her honeymoon.
Yes, I remember.
And I remember just being like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go there because there's a lot of beautiful places in this world that, you know, I haven't seen, and that is one of the places where I would want to go.
Have you been to Europe before or no?
No.
Okay, me neither.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah.
I need to do the whole, just going through those countries. Italy, France, Spain, England. I mean, I haven't gotten a chance to do that. So, okay, Italy.
Yeah.
Is there a specific city that you have your sights on, or you're just like, I just want to travel all throughout Italy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to travel.
Awesome. And then Iceland. Yeah, I remember seeing Dora's pictures, and I was like, it looks incredible. Yeah. It's probably really cold, but
still,
I know. Still incredible. Yeah. Right. Okay. Awesome. Italy or Iceland. I dig that. I can dig that. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Alexa, for hanging out with us today, and just for here. I'm sure that you're so busy, and you and Matt are busy, but really glad I got to see you guys. It's been a blast. Thank you guys so much for listening to the We're from the Valley podcast. Really excited for all the support that you guys have shown, and again, thank y'all for listening in. Y'all take care and have a good one.
Thank you guys.